Alright, hello, so, whoa, intro. Rosina. Rosina has been in charge of building for 1.4. Y'all are good hands. A lot of work. Okay, there's been a lot of work done, alright? Let's talk. We're starting in, XCS today, the Zerin Seed Cloud, Zerin Cloud Seed, Zerin Flow Cloud Seer. Got it, baby. Nailed it. Alright, so the factory layout is for the most part done, right? So now the stuff I'm doing is mostly like minor optimizations, and then like things for like the people who are going to use the guide. Except one thing that I saw in a Kiostin video actually, and I was like, ooh, I'm taking that. So let's go. We'll start here in Sheer and Flow Cloud Seer base. Not gonna go over the minor cosmetic changes, that's kind of whatever. The more functional changes that I made were not here. Labeling different things that people need to see. So anytime you see this floating pipe control port, that is the number of pumps that the closest conduit needs. Right, so one little tick of water means one water pump to this place. Not over here. The best I could do here is just this, but you will have to watch the video or look at the information in the text guide or maps or whatever to know that this is not like just one. You need 36 in each of these, so like that just you just won't know. You have to look. Same for this one. This one is 30 on the Sheergen. This Energen right here is just 6. But I can't really put it anywhere, so I just put it... Actually, I'll find a place. I'm going to put it on. I don't want to put any of them on pipes, because I want people to delete them when they're done. But I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to put it, like, right here. I'll do that after. And same for this acid. Alright, so this is the acid input. The other thing I've started doing is setting something like this up. So this is all 7 conduits going out of the base that you need, and then how many you need and what they are. So 1 water, 1 acid, 2 energen, and 3 sheergen, right? And any of them that are already connected in base, they're not labeled. They're just going to be what they are. And the reason why I did not auto connect these because I want people to be able to track how many they've done, basically. Like, you're like, oh, I got 7 here. I tested it on the blueprint to see if blueprints save a conduit, and it does not. It doesn't save the conduit icon from the blueprint. Only if something is already going into it will it save it. So, I opted for this method instead to help people with setup. Also, you can also just like kind of delete it when you're done and say like, oh, okay, I already have my water conduit inlet somewhere else. I'll just delete this one. I'll connect it and then delete this one, and now I know my water's good, right? That's my plan, at least. That's my thought to help folks. Okay, this place is also really cool. I freaking love this place, man. I love what's going on here. All right. Okay, that's it for this. Oh, I did fix this. So this was actually a little bit of an error I had made. I think what I'm going to do here. So this is a 3 a minute setup. This makes 3 gearing units a minute. Because hopefully it hasn't been too loud. I don't want full 6 a minute gearing units being made, but I think it's worth in the initial setup. Just letting it be a 6 a minute setup. So I think I have to add, like, move this back and add another splitter, and then it'll be a 6 a minute, and let people know if you don't want that, delete the splitter from back here. So this gets moved back, and then there'll be a splitter here instead. But I'm gonna change mine back to 3 a minute when I'm done. This version, because I like when these line up. But I can't do that with this converger right here. It has to be back here. So. I think people would much rather have this running at 6 a minute than 3 a minute if they didn't know any better, right? Since parts aren't really used for anything but like towers, and you're already getting 6 of those. So Okay, let's move on. We'll just go. We'll go to Jingyu Valley actually, because I want to show you what I did it. Actually, we'll do Jingyu after. Let's do markers. Let's do marker stone. Then we'll do wuling, and then we'll do Jingyu, because wuling needs to go before Jingyu to show you what Jingyu is used for in wuling. Okay, marker stone. It also doesn't have many functional changes. The stuff that's set up to work is the same for the most part. I did some experimentation with different water setups here, this double water pipe, and I didn't really come up with anything I liked. I have to like change how the water is, and I don't particularly care. But I still don't exactly like this. So this might change in the next day or two if I can figure out a better way to do this. I just don't know what that better way is yet. So, anyway. Okay, so marker stone is where I actually first did the labeling, the conduit labeling. So you can see this is like double, 2 waters. This is a double water. You need 2 water pumps. This one is a single. This is a single, you need 1 water pump. That's double, 2 water pumps. Single, right? I know conduits confuse people, but like, you know, the guide's there, right? Setup guide's there. The images are there. If you can't set up a factory on your own, you got to use the resources. And I feel like I give a lot more resources than most people do for setups. So hopefully that should help with setup. I also did the bank first here, but I did the sorting thing in the last and zeroing seed, and I came back. So this is a this is another. You got 6 water inputs, and that's it. Right? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. Okay. The only I didn't include the outlet though, because the outlet's a little more confusing in my opinion. Let me explain what I put it here for a reason with like these little paths to like mark it in a way. So actually I need to put the path in front of that, but I think the pipe's there, so it should be fine. So here's what's going on here. I wanted to be able to like. I just wanted it to auto make liquid shearnite and liquid heavy shearnite for people. Just here's a fluid tank of 500, then you can just delete it, right? Like you can just delete the stuff. I should probably move the fluid tanks further away, like somewhere else, but whatever, they'll be fine. So I was thinking like, oh man, that means I gotta run like another fluid pump and another like acid pump, and we already don't have space for fluid pumps here. You'd have to actually do it like over here and conduit it in. Ask me how I know. So, but I was like, hey, wait, I have like runoff. Like this is runoff right here, and this is runoff. So since this doesn't need to make it any particular speed, I should just use that. So I ended up using that. That's what this little setup is. And to make it auto run, like I originally had it coming out of the pack, but I needed it to auto run when you set up the base, so I had to do it here from depot loaders. So all this can get deleted once you have your 500, or if you don't need it anymore, you can just delete it. Now, there's something to be said about just bottling it myself, like auto bottling, which I might do. I might do the auto bottle because I could set it right here. I actually had a bottling thing right here. Actually, I will do that. I will set just an auto bottle filling unit right here, and I'll just have both of these fluid tanks, or I probably, yeah, what I'll do is I'll set a bottle coming out, and I'll set like 1,000, maybe 500, I don't know, something like that, like 1,000 on the limit, and then each tank will be 250 going in. I'll do 1,000, so that's 500 bottles each. And then I'll set a limit out from this to be 500 as for each one, so they give you 500 bottles, and then you'll also have fluid tanks full to use for whatever you want. So that's what I'll do for people. I mean, that's what I'll do. For anyone who, I don't know how you would even get here without exploring and having used liquid shearnite, but for anyone that's not here, that's what I'd like. Because I actually think, you know what, thinking about it now, this base functions without Yinglung Pass. Hold on. This is a full, like, 1.3 build. 1.2, as long as you get Marker Stone open. It'll work, right? Yeah, because there's nothing here that is sending back. Yeah, it's just using Sheeranite. So your Sheeranite doesn't quite work, but you have Sheeranite. So that's kind of cool, actually. I might do some modifications to for people under that aren't in Cloudseer. But anyway, okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back to Marker Stone. That's actually really cool. I need to consider how I can leverage that to make stuff. Probably, yeah. I'll think about that later. So yeah, so that's what's going on here. So hopefully this setup is going to be a pain. The main thing, this setup isn't a pain. The main thing that's a pain is getting this water right. I have to show people how to do that again. I know not everyone remembers and not everyone knows of two techs I have to show. I've been using this tech in wuling. It actually works in a lot of more places. Or not this one, but the zoom tech. So zoom tech, first off, zoom tech is this. Like, you know, you zoom in, go like to the north wall, zoom out, and then you can turn, you can see further on the left, but when you zoom in, you can't, right? You can't see that far. So that's one tech. The other tech is when you're this far away, and you have to be like past this bar right here, this double box. You have to be that far. These guys turn gray. Well, they don't turn gray anymore, but you can still place on top of them. Oh, wait, no, you can't. Hold on. How far out do I gotta be? In the corner now? Oh, I think I just can't place right there. Oh, the pipe is right there. Here, actually, hold on. I was far enough away. Like that. You see, you can just place on top of them. They don't turn gray anymore. But if you're too close, which I think is like, this is too close, I believe. Oh, it's not. Okay, so I think this whole back area. But yeah, you can't place stuff on top of them, so you have to kind of glitch them out. Yeah, see like that? You can't glitch them out. So you have to move farther away, but they don't turn gray anymore. They should turn like gray blobs, and you could just put it on top. All right, so that's marker stone. Let's go look at wuling. Wuling had changes that are not significant, but it's like addition. It had additions. It had a lot of additions added. So let's talk first about this. The big thing I wanted was a way to make cuprium parts, like just any amount of cuprium parts, not necessarily the gearing unit, but it luckily kind of went hand in hand. So I don't know why anyone would want this. Let me back up. I need to stop saying stuff like that. This isn't to be used fully. Like, you're not supposed to actually have this gearing unit running. It's for someone who might want to make these old gearing parts to like unlock, I don't know, just to have some. Like, if you just want some in the future, they're here. But the biggest thing is I really wanted this fitting unit. I wanted this here for people to be able to make fitting parts. I'm sorry, cuprium parts. But it's limited to, what is this? 2,000? So it'll automatically eat your cuprium reserves and make 2,000 on its own. Because you need cuprium parts for dangling everything. So I wanted that to just make 2,000, and anyone using the base would have that stuff ready to build all these other components and stuff that they might need. Especially in the future. It's a little crazy because you need the cuprium parts to make all this stuff, and like it doesn't help. But I also put the little recipes here for people. I tried to show that you can use it to pack port, right? So the pack ports say, hey, I can use it. So I also didn't put boxes here because the building should show what you're going to get, right? So this will be on, and it'll just go in and show the icons, and you can kind of line it up and be like, oh, I want that, right? I want that. And then hopefully, I thought about putting item control boxes here with like the Sheeranite and the heavy Sheeranite, but I wasn't sure if that would confuse people, or not. And like the Hedonite part doesn't come from the wall, right? So I actually might put an unloader that has the Hedonite part and just like leave it right here, so people can see that. But this is kind of unneeded. Like, at this, with the changes they did to gearing, which I was so happy that they did not make the newest tier obsolete. That's what I thought they were gonna do. Like, you can just use old stuff for the new stuff, but no, you need new stuff, and that new stuff is so cheap. It's so nice. So anyway, okay, next. Oh, I changed the water around a little bit. I don't really like when pipes boomerang back like this, but I also don't like the split that I would have to do here. So this is what we get, is a half ring. Which, oh, now that I think, oh no, that's in the way. I'm not doing a crossover. I'm not doing a bridge. So this is a half ring. I have to suffice. My half ring will suffice. I could put a conduit like in here, right? No, then the pylon doesn't really reach all 4. And I don't care, like, enough. Okay, same tech, right? This needs 3 pumps, and the manifold right behind it. I didn't do the little bank thing because the pumps are right here, or the water is right there, and there's only, like, there's 3, but there's one in the back, that I'll get to in a second. So, but I opted for this instead, the triple and then the manifold right there. Since you can just walk it up, right? I should connect this one, but I'm not disconnecting my own, so it's just going to stay unconnected. And it's supposed to be like a warning, like, hey, look at this, right? Hey, look. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Oh, I got a second rainbow. I'm going to be adding to that as we go along. And I moved the other. I spent a long time either actually just moving all of those tanks down. So, but now my protocol is like 320 up here or something, so... Alright, so this is what's going on here. Kiostin put out a video about an overflow setup, and I was like, hey, that's a great idea, Mr. Dude. Like, I like that. I know there's other ways to do it, using the zircon, like flushing out the zircon, I think is the big one. And there's probably some kind of like overflow with like the gas, maybe. I don't really like doing those kinds. They're kind of funky. With like the whole charging the port and stuff, and I know how to do it. I know what the purpose is. I saw the Reddit post and like kind of followed that guy, and I read his Discord post, but not in fully because I saw that after. And I could probably fit it, but I don't really like it. It's just a preference. I don't think it's bad. So I liked what Kiostin had did, but I didn't like how his looked, so of course I changed it. I changed the way it looked, and wow, we got some symmetry here. I also was hyper-derping. I was not hyper-derping. I tried something in this before. I tried to make 2 things at once that use the same fluid. So like 1 water, 2 Yaza. I forgot when I tried it. I just derped. I did not do it right. That was on me. Whatever testing I did was incorrect. And I should have known better, because when you make, in the previous build, making liquid heavy shearonite, use the acid that was currently in the reactor, and it would drain that acid down, because you only got 1 acid but you're using 2. And I don't know how I didn't connect the dots that, like, yeah, that means you can run 2 separate reactions with the same like water. I don't know. I don't know how I didn't catch that. So that was on me. So it took me like an hour or 2 to fix this, because I was really derping on that for some reason. I was messing that up really badly. But this is set up. So how this works, Kiostin did a video about it. I keep saying that. I'm not even like a Kiostin stan. I like to watch his videos and see what he did. I watch a lot of actual, like, once I get my layout done, I go and start watching other people, because I just like seeing the factory. I think y'all know that by now. But he did an overflow protection. So how this works is these 4 items are the ones that need to be protected. Okay, so these 4 items are hedonite parts, pyrolite parts, SE wuling batteries, and heavy shearonite. Those 4 need to be protected. They need to always be being created, because each one of them shuts down another section. Heavy shearonite impacts... I actually don't think heavy shearonite has an oh, heavy shearonite filling up. No, I don't know. Heavy shearonite doesn't really have. It will impact the pyrolite production. It'll get stuck on that carousel belt. That's what will happen. Because it's not coming out of the depot and going back into itself. It gets stuck. Well, actually, it would still get stuck. Now that I think about it. No, it could always move like 1. If it was a true carousel like the last one, it could always still move 1. So I was like, oh, that's a good idea. This overflow is good. Then I can keep that carousel from the production line. Carousel can stay. So how this works, when any of those fill up, we take advantage of the priority laning thing that the protocol stashes do. So when you have a building with multiple outputs, and you put a converger down on one of the outputs. Ooh. It will not... Why didn't it send... It didn't send to begin with. But what it will do is it won't send down this lane until it can no longer send down another lane. So I'll show you what I mean. So you'll see this light up. So that's what it does. right? So this is filled. It can't send it here anymore, so it sends it up there instead. Okay, so using that logic, apply it to here. So batteries and heavy shearonite are just rotating in and out, in and out, in and out. And let's say this fills and it can no longer go back into the my mouse has been jacked up. I need to get it filled. Oh no, I'm a belt that's filled. Well, it will go into this crucible now, this reactor. When these, how the multi-clog autofix works is that when two formulas max out and they clog, it will dump everything in here. It just deletes it, sends it to the nether. So we leverage that with Yazan. Maybe this side is actually more full. Yeah, this will take a while. So what happens is this fills up, fills up, fills up, fills up, and then dumps everything. And it'll keep doing that until, well, it just keeps doing that. And it's pretty cool. I really like it. I thought that, I remember seeing this before. There's a guy on Reddit when the multi-clog autofix came out. It was a thread. No one really talked in it. It was like 3 people commented or something. And I was like, no, that's some good tech. I think everybody kind of praised them, right? But I was like, no. That's some really good tech right there. That's some good shit. So it was kind of cool to see Kyosen, a big creator, use that guy's tech. Now, I'm pretty sure people have been using it. I just haven't seen it. But Kyosen being a big creator and getting it out to a lot of us, pretty cool. So I was glad to implement it here. And you know, I had to make it look like mine. I had first copied his to get it like set up. And you know me and decentralizing. I was like, bro, I can't with this. And you know, all plant things belong in Jingyu. So Jingyu looks kind of cool now. So I have this set up. The water's limited to 60 out. Is it 60? Yeah, 60 out. Because I don't want the overfill. I think it would impact this in the wrong way. So of course I don't want cancel symbols. But when you have 2 waters coming in, it still is enough to send all of it to the other one, because I didn't want more conduits. So to get away from that, to get around that, to force this thing to hold some liquid within itself, because it doesn't need to fill water, it just needs to fill the Yazan, the 2 solutions. That's all it needs to fill. So to get around that, so it can have some water of its own, I limited both of these outputs to 30 instead of 1 to 60. I think if I limited 1 to 60, it would just pass all the water through. No, it wouldn't, because these pipes are moving at 120. But I went for this instead, so it will get its own water, and this one will get its own water. So this is overflow protection. Really proud of this, really happy that I was able to implement this. I think this is really cool. Over here, this is optional. I'm gonna leave it in, but it's optional for people. Oh, I need to limit this. Hold on. Whoa. I was messing with this over here. I changed some stuff, but this needs to be limited. This is limited down to 6. We have 6 extra shearonite, so they can be used here. What I might do actually is split this off and down to 3 a minute, so that you're always building shearonite in your depot. But I think it's actually like, there's like 1 free shearonite. I think there's 1 free that gets made. But I might do that. I might split this off to be like 1 or 3, because this is for some more tech I saw on Reddit. So this is for the farm. I need to fix this. I need to get it consolidated. I had it really spread out and I didn't like it that much. But you can water your plants over here by using aquagen. You have to make the aquagen, but you can do that. So I think this looks cool. This looks awesome. I don't really need this anymore. I did a lot of hyper farming early, but this doesn't need constant like 30 a minute or anything. It just gets it when it gets it, and it'll activate for a little while, then shut off, and your plants will grow. Like who's clock watching daggum this thing, man? So this is for anyone who would want it, and if you don't want it, you can just delete it, and there's no impact, right? I finally changed my own water setup, like the water I had. I finally did this, where like I just put this water on this side for this manifold, right? Ooh, excuse me. And then like 1 water set up on this side instead of them both being on the left. So one's on the left, one's on the right. So that's what's going on here. And then, like I said, I have this stuff. So happy about the additions, little quality of life additions. I know the gearing unit isn't necessary, but I hope it's appreciated for people who just, I don't know, who just want to make that for some reason. Man, I'm really debating on putting the, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. It might be better if I put these boxes, like, all three together on the right side, so I can put the heavy, I don't know what I'm doing without that. But yeah, so, I might show how if somebody wants to see it, I'll kind of leave this to you all who actually watch these videos. If you want to see how I got this liquid, and the liquid is going to be harder. I actually don't know how you get the liquid anymore. Oh, yes, I do. We have it all still. The liquid that you can get now, you can still get, and how I got this gas. I'll show you how I did that if you want to see it. If not, I'm not going through that process again. It's kind of a pain in the ass. All right, let's look at Jingyu, because I like what's going on in Jingyu, or Sky King's Flats. Okay, so we did some. All right, so I got my pipes a little better here for the Energen. Still not great, but whatever. Didn't change anything back here. I expanded the bus. This is an odd number, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I didn't like when this is in the middle and then it's odd. I just put it at the end instead, so it can kind of be next to Guardian Chubby Lung and the conduits. So I could only really do this for this one, but this does need 3 total. It needs actual 3 vents. It needs 60 a minute, and the vents are each 20, because they're all high purity. So I did opt to actually put the triple here on this one, so hopefully people catch that too. So what did I actually change here? Well, I fucked around on this side a lot, trying to figure out how to fit. I was going to do that overflow down here. I was like, I'm gonna make it here. I'm just gonna do it. Not happening. That wasn't happening. Then I tried to do all the planting up, like all the planters and up in wuling, and I forgot I did it. I got it all built out. It was working. Got the pipe set and everything, and I forgot about the shredders. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not doing this then. So I got really mad about that. I didn't get really mad. I was like, oh, God. So I was like, okay, that's it. Planters are not up here. They're not being up here. Planters belong in Jingyu. This is the burden I must bear. So planters are now here in Jingyu. So I wanted to do this. So you see how I have these six planters here? I was like, man, I have this as barren like corner over here. I need to put planters here. Like, I gotta do that, right? I want to do that. I don't know if I showed this yesterday. It's kind of bootleg, but I like this shredder. So what is going on here? Because you might notice it's doing Yazan and Jinkao. Because I built this and then realized, because I was like, okay, I'm not doing the daisy chain. I'm not doing it. Let me try something else. It's mostly also, this is kind of a funky area. See, I can't, it's 2 outputs, so I couldn't do like this one where it's 2 outputs from 2 different buildings. So I had to get creative on how to get some more symmetry. But once I built it, I was like, oh shit, I'm feeding it into one, but I need 2 different plants. Like, you need Jinkao powder and Yazan powder for it to work. So I was like, oh, you remember, excuse me. I remembered the videos. Y'all may have seen some of the videos I did where I was messing around with doing, what is it, the timeshare? That's what they call it in the Discord. I was looking at timeshare on the planting setup to do Jinkao and Yazan. So that came in handy. Doing that tech came in handy here. I knew, here's what I knew about this. So one, you don't want to overfill this with too many things. So you need like the exact number or like just one more, because Yazan can't enter this when Jinkao is still being, when the Jinkao has it still sitting here. So when it's being made, it can enter, watch. So see this, we got 1. So you'll see this is being made when Jinkao is sitting here, right? So this is important, very important. Because the little bit of time it takes, if it waits to go in, will actually slow down the production. It's very weird. All right, so that's the first thing I learned from that experiment. The second thing I learned is this belt length matters. This belt length tells you how much you can put in. All right. to get 100% efficiency. So let me show you what I mean by 100%. So this number is very inaccurate. All right, it fluctuates a lot by time. See, like somehow I have over yield because it's yielding two at the same time. It's very weird. It's very weird, and the usage is up. Don't ask. All right, so the better thing to look at though is the powder, because the powder is what we actually need to come out balanced. So see how this powder is freaking fluctuating like crazy? It's because it goes through these like 12 being made at a time, so you have to look at it over a longer period. So even this is not accurate. See how, like, as long as these two combined make 120, it's okay. Like, and it's not going to show me yet. It's still being a little derpy. But I might have to work on this a little bit, because this actually should be higher. But it's going up. I want you to understand, this number is going up. This was 1,800 earlier. So I'm going to keep an eye on it over a day to make sure that number is still going up. And that this is not trolling me. Because it's the same number of Yazin and Jinkao on the belt. Alright? So there's 11 of each on this belt. Right? I think it's 11. Let me see. When do I have full Yazin on here? Alright. 12, it's 12 each, 12 each. Because your belt determines how long you have. So if you think, this is so weird to explain. Every belt segment is 2 seconds. I'm not explaining this actually. Just I know that's how it works. It just works that way. So, is going that powder is going up, right? I'm not like hoping. Was that 2298? I think it was. No, it's 294. We'll see. We'll see what it turns into, but. Oh, it went up right there. It went up, but it's going to go down because it's getting used, so we'll see. That's concerning. This should not be that much higher, and I wonder why it is. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that. But yes, I'm very happy with that. So now, and then I have the two things going in, and I finally achieved one of the weirder goals I always want. Not a goal, something I always wanted to do, but wasn't sure how to, when I would ever, of having the pack have 14 inputs going into it. I love this thing. So that's what I've been working on. Now, when it comes to the non XCS pass version, I might do something with that, because you can still make Hedonite parts, and I think you can make cuprium parts here. So I would blow out all this and just make it into cuprium parts for people. Because you don't need to make anything else, right? Like, until you get to this shear and flow cloud seer. And you have your liquid shear night and stuff, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. That's actually kind of cool. If I had cuprium production here, it would be even better, because then you could do cuprium. No, that's not gonna work, because planting happens here. If I had the planters in Wuling City, then we could do that. Then we could build. You could like. I could actually have a base you build on as you unlock each region. That would have been really cool to do. That would have been really cool to do. Like, each one adds something new. Man. Because cuprium unlocks here, right? Here in Jingyu? I think, where's the cuprium? Maybe there is no cuprium here. Oh, so cuprium unlocks a marker stone then. Yeah. Is there one in Wuling City, actually? No, it's test area. It's test area. So, wow, that's something I really should have thought of then. Wow, that's a case. That is a very strong case to move planting out of Jingyu. Hey, wait, no, you unlock Jingyu very soon. Early when you get here. There is a case to be made that this base works as you unlock Marker Stone and Jiren Flow Cloud Seer. I am very interested in this now, because that would be really cool to put out for people, especially with so many returning and new players. I'm very much considering how to do this now. And I think it's very easy. I think it's this. I just move this. I change this. This is cuprium parts. Oh, and I already have the gearing unit set up, right? Hold on. Y'all come with me for a second. Hold on. I already have the gearing unit set up for people as they work through the levels, right? Like, I'm showing you the recipe. I have the thing. Both things, right? When you get the marker stone, you finally get cuprium. You can already make dense originium here. It's already coming in. Ooh, you gotta be region level 12 though, don't you? Because region level 12 is when meta storage activates. Nope, doesn't matter. Yeah. So battery production. We could change battery production actually, because you need dense originium and shearonite, right? Oh, gas. The gas is the issue. This over here. But wait, oh, hold on. No. I can do this for people because I already have these. This is all modular. Right? Like, it's just this much. You have the plants. Hey, yo, I might Sandleaf is an issue. No, I gotta remember, people don't have all 12 forges yet, remember? They don't have all 12 forges. And you don't need all 12 until you get the Sear and Flow Cloud Seer. So they could have 2 forges, and then 4 forges, and then 8 forges. I believe that's the progression. And then you get 12 from test area. Now, they might have to hold off on 12 and just settle for 8. And then once they get the Cloud Seer, they can get 12. Yo, I think this might be really cool to make for people. And I have a friend who came back to the game. He can be my guinea pig. Okay, I'm ending it here. I didn't mean for this to be that long, but I kind of brain blasted. So I'm going to look into getting this set up for new players. But thank y'all for watching. We're narrowing it down. So even if I should be able to start working on this on the weekend. And getting the guide up and all that stuff. So barring anything, because I don't have many kinks to work out. The only kink I need to work out, I think, is the one in Markerstone with the water pipe. I don't, unless I come across something new, which I don't think there's much newer tech. I don't have much else to change. I kind of like how everything looks. And that's a big part for me. Y'all know that. We got a lot of good space usage. I moved this depot bus port around, and I accidentally disconnected everything for like 10 minutes. Because I don't know where to put this damn thing. I normally would put it like here or up here, but now we're using that, so I'm just gonna keep it tucked here in this little armpit. But yeah, so we're cooking. So I'll talk to y'all later.